Hi everybody, Pat Moody with another edition of Moody on the Move, taking you around the region to interesting places, businesses, and meeting the people behind the scene so that we get a better scope of what's going on around the community. Today we're in Bridgman for a peek behind the curtain at Lighthouse Sleep Apnea Center. Moody on the Move is made possible by our friends at Campbell Ford in Niles, where they promise the best bottom line is always at the state line. And you can also watch it again anytime online at moodyonthemove.com. If you're able to sleep like a baby, count yourself among the lucky. Not everybody has that luxury, and that's why Jason Prilwitz and Mike Zimmerman crafted Lighthouse Sleep Apnea Center here in Bridgman. Jason's with me today, and Jason, for those who don't know, let's talk about that. What is sleep apnea, and how prevalent is that problem?
Well, it is quite prevalent. So at least 10% of the population does suffer from sleep apnea. I would say that number is probably higher because only 10% are actually diagnosed. So it's probably between 20 to 35 minimally that do have sleep apnea. Now, sleep apnea is suffocation. It's the collapsing of the airway at night when you're trying to sleep. It's due to the soft tissue weakness that will collapse on you when you sleep at night, whether it's on your back or on your right or left. So it's suffocation based upon the collapsing of the airway. A lot of people think that snoring is just sleep apnea, but actually it's a lot more. So sleep apnea actually is premature death because sleep apnea can take 12 to 15 years off your life. So not everybody who has sleep apnea snores, but if a person does snore and it's freight train like snoring, that usually is another indication that they have a sleep issue going on.
So you literally stop breathing.
Yes, stop breathing. That can continue on multiple times per hour, hundreds of times per night.
So Jason, how does somebody know whether or not they have sleep apnea? How do we even trace that?
Signs that a person might have sleep apnea are brain fog, excessive daytime tiredness, choking and gasping for air at night, tossing and turning quite a bit, frequent urination, so frequent trips to the bathroom is a telltale sign that somebody might have a sleep issue, night sweats, morning headaches. So if a person wakes up with a morning headache, that's usually a telltale sign that they were being starved of oxygen. Their brain was being starved of oxygen. Luckily, morning headaches dissipate right away when the person wakes up. But a morning headache is one sign that a person probably has a sleep issue, which is sleep apnea.
So talk a little bit about the issues that you deal with when folks have a preconceived notion or unfounded fears about sleep apnea. What do you tell them?
Well, a lot of times people, pride gets in the way. They don't want to admit that they might have a sleep issue because, admitting you have a sleep issue to some people sounds silly. Okay. But unfortunately, it is not silly. It is very, very serious. So to explain to people that you have an increased risk of heart attack or stroke, Alzheimer's and dementia if you do not take sleep apnea serious. So thankfully over the years, people have been become more aware of the importance of sleep apnea, but it's been growing, it is a trend. But yeah, sleep apnea is serious because of the suffocation and it puts your body into fight or flight throughout the day.
Now, you offer a great deal of information to potential patients here at Lighthouse Sleep Apnea Center, but you also bring to the table what I think is probably the best possible method, and that's your free non-invasive airway test. That's quick and easy to help get a good picture of what folks might be dealing with. Tell us about that process.
Well, the process is that we do a free sleep consultation. So anybody who comes in, that we can use our special state-of-the-art technology. It's called the Echo Vision. So it's basically sound waves that we can send up a person's nose and then down their throat to be able to detect if there's too much narrowing, too much collapsing of the airway. After breathing through the nose is ideal when you sleep because that can hinder quality of sleep, but also you want to keep the airway open. So an open nose and an open airway is ideal. And this guy is a guide who can tell us, he can help us, let us know if there is a problem, and then also let us know that there's a way to solve that problem by keeping the airway open.
Okay, and some of the devices that you have that help keep that airway open are very interesting and revolutionary.
Yeah. We offer two types of oral appliances, and this one is called a Herbst. This one has been around for years. I personally use this one. And then we also offer another one called the Avant. So both work fantastic, both will achieve the same outcome, but we do offer two different types because sometimes people do not like the idea of having metal in their mouth, or they could be allergic to, or they could be allergic to metal. So we offer two types. This one has a plastic strap compares to the metal, but both work phenomenally and both can achieve the same success, which is to keep the airway open so that you suffocate less at night and get better quality sleep.
All right, so if your airway test does show that folks need to take some sort of action, is sleep apnea covered by insurance, Medicaid, things like that?
Most insurances, yes. So if a person does have a sleep test after the free airway test, if it determines that there's too much collapsing of the airway, then obviously a home sleep test is recommended. So yeah, most insurances do cover or do have coverage for home sleep tests and also for oral appliance therapy. Medicaid does not, but Medicare will also cover too. So I tell patients that yes, we partner with a third-party biller. They will contact your insurance company. They will find out if there's coverage, how much coverage, what the out-of-pocket is, so they can take all the hassle out of calling your insurance company. They'll take care of that, and they'll find out what out-of-pocket is.
And you also have programs for veterans?
Yes. We also are approved by the Veterans Administration so that we can also serve people who are veterans who have sleep apnea. All they got to do is just contact their VA and then ask for a referral to us, and we can provide that veteran with the necessary information.
So as you've gone through this with multiple patients, I'm sure there's some very, very happy campers out there now.
Well, that's some of the perks of doing this, is that a lot of people we have helped. We have an 80% success rate, and so people are very, very happy. Their spouses are happy. So yeah, I would say probably one of the biggest prides of joy that I have is helping people reclaim their life by getting better quality sleep, and so that brings immense pride.
Understandably so. Well, folks, if sleep apnea is an issue for you and you'd like to explore avenues for relief, Lighthouse Sleep Apnea Center, located at 9500 Red Arrow Highway in Bridgman, is the place. Just look for the Lighthouse, the St. Joe Lighthouse replica, which is out front. You can call anytime for a pre-consultation at 269-466-1110 and learn more online right now at lighthousesleepapnea.com. That's a wrap on this edition of Moody on the Move, and remember, you can watch this or any other episode of Moody on the Move anytime at moodyonthemove.com. It's all made possible by our friends at Campbell Ford in Niles, where they promise the best bottom line is always at the state line. Our thanks as well to Ryan Cheevers and the team at Little Red Fern Productions for making us look good every single time. We'll see you next time we take Moody on the Move.